The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the views or ideas of the staff or management of KWSH or the 110 Broadcast Group.
It's Jay. Hope you're all well today. I'm Bo WHITEKILLER, sitting in to deliver some radio news and reports today from KWSH Studios here in Seminole, Oklahoma. This is the Seminole Nation radio program brought to you every Tuesday at 11 o'clock here on KWSH 1260 and 97.7 on your FM. Today, we have some news, information, and a couple special reports. You can see on the video playback when it's sent out tomorrow night, I got my little mask on, so I'm masked up. Got the breathing apparatus on, something we're all getting used to. I'm sure you got your handkerchiefs, bandanas, scarves, whatever you need available. But we're helping to flatten the curve. Flatten the curve, that's what they say. So for today, Tuesday, April 21st, we've got some news, information, a special report coming to you from a Haskell student named Jamie Colvin. She's a Renaissance woman. I had a chance to meet her, and you get to see her every now and then. Her and her family. Live in Nebraska, and her father, Theron Kowalski Colvin, hails from Van Moose, Conowal area. Uncle Butch Pompa. But Jamie's a very unique woman. She's got a story to tell, and I'd like for her to share some of it, and maybe we can get an in-depth interview at some point in time, but that'll be coming up in a little bit. And it's also her final year as a graduate of Haskell, so we look forward to that. And speaking of graduations, we got some information and announcements that we'd like to share with you guys on getting your graduates from tech school, college, high school, getting some information so that you can get that posted in print and on our social media sites for an upcoming special feature. But first, some of us have been outside in the nice sunshine, and it's not rainy or dreary, but we've got a special weather report from a special person, our own weather girl. I'll throw it up here and let you introduce yourself. Weather girl, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Hence Jay, my name is Melina WHITEKILLER. Today's weather, it's really sunny outside. It's currently 78 degrees and the highest is 80. It's a good day to go outside for a little bit.
What are you going to do today?
Work with my dad.
Okay. All right, she's giving her weather
report. In the car.
Stay in the car. She's doing her weather report for those of you listening out there with a mask on and sitting inside a car, but she's doing all right. All right, so get back to your Sudoku, and we'll talk to you later. Love you.
Love you too.
All right. All right, it's a nice day out, so get out and do what you can and enjoy the sunshine. All right, some updates we got, sharing a little information from Seminole Nation. We do have what's called a COVID-19 task force, and just so that you're aware of it, and a lot of information will be flowing out here pretty soon as we look to hopefully get some information from Chief within the next couple of days as he's in meetings daily. But this task force is a group program and department leaders discuss operations and receipt of information at the federal level. And one of the things that's come down was the CARES Act, of course, and the distribution of the funding and the receiving of confirmation from the Department of Treasury that the Paycheck Protection Program that we qualified for, that this loan is used to cover payroll costs associated with this coronavirus outbreak. So more information will be coming down from that. But we'll take care of the people of the nation. We've got a lot of folks that are still continuing to work and provide the skeleton crews a service for the nation. And a lot of these folks are genuinely, want to do what's right for the nation and want to assist and help out and are very selfless in that endeavor, and we would thank you all for that. Another thing of this COVID task force, another thing they do is implement, and we've been talking about some contingencies of the departments, in case they get a virus outbreak. Yeah. So, like, for instance, I'm the communications department. What happens when I go down? Who's my replacement, or how do we continue the radio program? So those contingencies were discussed, and we are definitely in a good phase of being able to have backups for all that's going on. And another thing that stems from those discussions are statuses of current operations. Are there any friction points? These are some of the things that we can discuss amongst each other. And when I say each other, we do have departments ranging from human resources, department directors there. We have the program budget director, Officer Larry Factor there. We have also our procurement officer, make sure that we get our needs taken care of, along with treasury, of course, and chief, and transit. We make sure that transit's got the operations running daily too as well. So a number of leaders there, but the discussions are good, ongoing, and we meet weekly. So again, some of this information will be put out through our social media sites, and I can tell you that today we will be opening up the website on Friday. This Friday, the Seminole Nation long beleaguered Seminole Nation website will be up and running this Friday. So take a look at it, see what you think about it. We're still in the process of tweaking it and getting some polishing up on it, but it will be operational this Friday. So take a look at that. Another thing that was discussed during this time was the council meeting, the upcoming council meeting that we have. So how is that going to be affected? How is that information being pushed down at the band level? And that was one of my concerns as communications, was the information flow for band members and you, the listener out there. Are you getting what you need from the representatives? And in turn, are the representatives getting what they need from the administration? So these things like that, the flow of communication must continue, especially during this time. So the council meeting planning for this upcoming summer, what are some things that we could do to assist and get that information pushed out? We've talked about the telehelp, using the televised video conferencing, and other ways that we could mitigate any of the friction that could arise from lack of communication. So those things are in plan. BCR has limited the office to one person per day to allow respective tasks to be completed that cannot be done from home. The tag office usually are there on Tuesdays and Thursdays, the person that works there. So all registration documents should be mailed to the office along with a telephone number. Any persons that need renewals should have their insurance company fax their insurance to the following number. So if you need a renewal, should have your insurance company fax their insurance to 405-382-8611. That's 405-382-8611 for renewals at the BCR office. Receiving that insurance verification triggers the BCR office in their database to contact that person via the telephone number that they have on file, and they will be contacted during the Tuesdays and Thursday time frames. So be patient with them. They're continued process request daily, on those designated days, while ensuring the health and safety of everyone within that office. So just be patient with them. And the BCR Central Office number is 405-382-8617, 405-382-8617. And like I mentioned before, graduates, for a job well done, we would like to recognize our seniors and graduating students in an upcoming print and special social media site. Send a quality senior pic with your full name, graduating from, parents, band or clan, future plans, and a quote or short message. Now, all this information will be relayed on our social media sites, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. But if you have a senior you'd like to recognize, you can send all that information to Tsno Communications. That's P.O. Box 1498, Wewoka, Oklahoma 74884. That's Tsno Communications, my office. P.O. Box 1498, Wewoka, Oklahoma 74884. Or you can email it to seminolemedia@gmail.com. seminolemedia@gmail.com. And one last thing we got coming up. I was noticing this as we continue to complete get ready for the census, or complete, if you haven't completed your census form yet or gone online or mailed it in, please do. The Seminole Nation Complete Count Committee, a group whose purpose is to emphasize the importance of being counted in the census, started a census push represented in the social media campaign of hashtag Seminole Nation Counts. The distinction of tribal affiliation regarding the geographic separation of Oklahoma and Florida nations will assist for a more accurate and specific count on the final census. If you see your census form and see the tribal affiliation, if you put in that census form Seminole Nation, that would describe individuals who reside in or affiliated with the Oklahoma Nation specifically. For more information, contact the Communications Executive Departments to assist you on anything of that nature. So if you're filling out your form, Seminole Nation specifically puts us in the realm of the Oklahoma Seminoles. All right. We're going to wind it down here with a nice little interview. I do have on the line a good friend of mine's daughter, and also a good friend of mine, who is now in her final few days at Haskell. I just wanted you guys to get a good meeting with this young lady, because she's really a standout person. She's, in her young life, been involved with a lot of activities and activism, social activism, and on that front, and kept her really busy in the last few years. One of the things that I was brought to mind was the participation during the pipeline at Keystone XL, in which her and her father traveled around. And her father, I tell you what, he's been really an inspiration too as well. He's a dad. You know, he's one of those persons that are, he's a dad. And to see them and their travels and what they do, it's really inspiring. So I'm going to stop talking, and I really want you guys to meet. Jamie, are you there?
Hello, it's Jay.
Hey, Jamie. Jamie, this is Bo down here in Seminole County. Tell our listeners a little bit about where you're at, what's going on, and we'll take it from there.
It's Jay Stongo to all that's listening. Mado for having me on the line here today.
You bet.
I'm over here down in Lawrence, Kansas, or up here in Lawrence, Kansas, from where you guys are at. A senior studying environmental science at Haskell Indian Nations University. I am bunkered down here with some of my peers and the remaining staff and faculty here on campus. Currently, we are on a lockdown. We're not allowed to leave our campus. The students aren't, and non-Haskell faculty, staff, and students aren't allowed to be on campus as well. So there's no interaction with the incoming Lawrence community going in and out of campus other than our staff that live in town.
So for some of our listeners up there, you guys can still take walks. I'm sure you can get out a little bit, and it's not that.
That's correct. We have walks, and we're able to stay on campus and get out, enjoy the sun, and they have a variety of different activities too to keep us busy besides continuing our studies online.
Mm-hmm.
We have a golf range here. We have different various activities of exercise outside. We also have our Haskell Wakarusa wetlands that we can take walks into, and there's a boardwalk there. And then on the virtual side, instead of like games and things in the dorms with all the other students, they have a virtual talking circle. They also have a virtual crafting circle, and they also have an upcoming Half School's Got Talent. That's actually going to be on Monday, April 27th, and that's on the Half School Success Facebook page.
Now, what does that comprise of? What is that event?
I think it's just going to be our Half School community, alumni, and current students that just want to express some of their talents and expertise on what they do.
Oh, wow. I'll have to check that out and maybe get that published out. We got a lot of Haskell alumni in Seminole County in this area, so I'm sure they'd be interested to see that. Jamie, tell me a little bit about your ties to Oklahoma. I'm sure your home is Nebraska. Is that correct?
Yes, that's my current home.
Yeah.
I live in Omaha.
Yeah, and what's your ties to Oklahoma? Just get people familiar with your background a little bit.
Yeah, my father, he's from Oklahoma, and that's on my dad's side. We all reside in Conwall. Like, give a shout to my granny, all my aunties, uncles. Yes, I was born in Claremore, and we lived in Tulsa at the time. And actually, before I turned 1, we moved up north to go be with my mom's side in Nebraska and Iowa. So that was kind of really the ties that I've had. I always try to make it down to visit all my relatives and my good friends. But I've got them clear across Oklahoma City and Tulsa, but mostly Kanawha there.
Yeah. Well, it's they're very, very, very humbled and proud to see you doing what you're doing, and part of my description of what you've accomplished. One of the things I've taken note of was the social activism that you have. You have a very defined and focused support of different causes. What are some of the causes of late, and specifically, what was your involvement with the Keystone Pipeline during that time? And where did that come from? Where did that consciousness come from?
Where I first began, I think, really consciously being aware of it, actually from here at Haskell, when the Standing Rock Sioux tribe, when they were battling the Dakota Access Pipeline, they created a group here on campus called Haskell Stands with Standing Rock. And so that group, we managed funds and different various donations, and we gathered things all together. And finally I said, I need to go there. I need to really be able to represent myself and my family and my people, and just be supportive of our other relatives in the north that, this is not right, and we have a say in what is going to be going on our native lands and our trust lands, especially when treaties are being broken. And so I proposed with that, and I went up there 4 times, and I think that just really put a set in stone in my degree path as well. Studying environmental science, that I know that this is my passion and this is what I really wanted to do in my life, that I feel I can make a difference and be supportive of that for other people.
And breaking it down to the smallest denominator, I mean, we all need water. Water's very important.
Exactly. Water is sacred. That water, we all need it. It's very essential, and it's really important. And even right now, more recently, like you mentioned, the KXL pipeline, they were proposing that to go through Canada all the way down through the Midwest and out of Texas to be shipped out. So recently they were going to go ahead with the construction while all the COVID-19 has been going on. And then I believe it was Montana that ruled that they did not have the specific permits, which was the environmental impact statement to move forward with the construction. So I believe from right now, the current status is that it is still halted. So that's a really good thing, and I'm really excited about that, that we are able to, keep pressing and pushing, because this is a big concern for me, because this is going to be going over one of the largest natural aquifers. It's the Ogallala Aquifer, and that covers multiple states. I believe it might be 7. This is where we get most of our fresh water with the United States. So it's a pretty big deal, and it's one of the largest in the world. So
very important
for us to even take a chance to damage that is just mind-blowing to me, that we would even consider putting a oil transporting pipeline over that.
With your involvement involvement in all in this cause, what are some of the characters? What are some of the people that you've encountered and paths crossed with that are kind of noble to you, that you're honored to be around?
Oh, that's a good question. I've really encountered so many individuals that have encouraged me, inspired me, and given me even more knowledge about what's really going on. I've met individuals even at different social gatherings that I travel to, and they just look at me and they're like, "Hey, I know you. Were you here at this rally or at this meetup?" And I was like, "Yeah, I was there." And they're like, "I recognize you." And it feels so good to know that we were both there, and we shared that moment, and we were part of something bigger than ourselves, and that we were able to contribute to something that we believed in. So there's too many names.
Well, one of the things that stood out and stands out and makes you distinct is a lot of the information that I've seen you on and some of the gatherings that you've been in, and some of the honorings that you've been a part of, is you wear a traditional Seminole dress, and that stands out and it becomes distinct. And tell me a little bit about how that. What does that mean to you when you share your regalia?
Well, I believe that in order to be anyone, you have to be yourself. So being able to represent myself as a Seminole woman, it makes me proud, and it allows me to be confident. They call it the circle. And it really gives me a cultural identity within that circle as well, and for others that I can share that with that are unaware of that specific type of regalia. And I'd like to thank my mother. She's my number one with all my patchwork. She is so great with it.
Yes, she is. Yes, and I talked when I talked to Jamie and setting this up. I told her I really wanted to share some of her sewing and patchwork, so we'll include her in some of these masks that have been sewed by some of our members here as well. And so I'd really like to honor her with that, because it's just kind of shows the heart of a person when they do that. And
it sure does, yeah. She sent me a whole bunch of masks that she's sewn to distribute here on Haskell campus and to the Lawrence community.
Wow, that's great. Speaking of Haskell, what final year? How's has it been a grind? I'm sure it's been an honor, of course, but what are you looking to do with your degree? What are some of your future plans?
Well, first, I'd like to say I am very humbled with all the experiences and opportunities that I've had here at Haskell. I owe it all here. They have given me so much, and I am very, very disappointed that I don't get to walk this spring. I was looking forward to it so much. I wanted to invite everybody to come celebrate this with me and this accomplishment that I've earned over these years. I'm achieving my Bachelor's of Science degree. This is a big deal for me and my family. And I want to move forward with my education. I'd like to pursue a master's degree, more along the lines of a environmental sustainability degree.
Mm-hmm.
That way I can bring this back to the Seminole Nation one day and give that back to the people. That's my end goal, is to really provide something. And
I think
for now, I'm actually working on more internship opportunities, and that's my current status. But I am going to be here for summer school, so.
So hopefully we'll get to come up and visit you when this thing falls over finally and goes away. We'll definitely come up and visit you, and always busy. You're always doing something, I'm sure.
Oh yes, I'm always busy.
Well, one thing's for certain, and in this small amount of time we had, you definitely a role model for a lot of our young people. And what are some final thoughts and encouraging our young, maybe some seniors, or some encouraging some of our juniors that are looking forward in that path? What are some words you may have for them to what you're doing?
Well, I'd like to say during this time that we cannot change what is happening, but we can do something with ourselves first to have a potential in our self-growth. So I encourage you to look for opportunities out there. You're more than welcome to message me, or I'd be more than happy to get you in contact with people with different opportunities that are of your interest. I'd also like you to encourage you. I highly encourage you, please. I would love for you to go to college. High school is there, and it's almost there, and I'm so happy that you are just almost to the finish line. But keep going. I'd love to see you pursue something else, and I encourage you to come here to Haskell. It's a great place. I love it here. They treat me like family, and that's what it is. It's you're more than just a student number here. You are a part of the Haskell family. And I tell you, the opportunities that I have been given here is undescribable. And the individuals that I have met here, I tell you, I have lifelong friends all across the United States. And it wouldn't be like that if it weren't for Haskell. Yeah, so please, I encourage you. I'll get you.
Absolutely, Jamie. Sure do appreciate you taking time out from your busy schedule and hunker downness at Haskell. Please let everyone know up there that we lifting up from down here and continue on your good path there. One final thing I got to ask you, something about there in Kawakachi Colvin that nobody else knows, but you want to dime him out here on the radio.
Oh my goodness.
How many concert T-shirts does he have?
Too many.
What's his
favorite?
favorite?
To get rid of some.
To get rid of some. I'll definitely let him know. I'll definitely let him know. Well, this will be our secret.
That cat radio.
Yeah. Well, Mado, and thank you very much, Jamie, for tuning in, and you'll see the rebroadcast tomorrow night on the video. And at this time, we're going to close the Seminole Nation radio program. Again, Adam Chihichahlis, this is Bo Whitekiller, and Jamie Colvin, and Melanie out in the car. She's still waiting on me. So, and Dennis on the engineering board. We thank you, and we'll see you again next week. Mado.
97.7 FM and 1260 AM, KWSH.